Hey guys, how are we doing? So putting out a video response today to Retro Red Steve and Zanoni Revived, and this is my top 10 PS1 games. I can't believe actually how much hard work it was to get it down to just 10. It's just taken so much thought and consideration, and then I've messed around with the order of stuff, and I'm still not sure that I've got it in the perfect order, but we'll see how we get on. Some of the omissions, some of the games that I've had to leave out are shocking, to be fair. I mean, it's like I say, it's been really tough. First of all, just to, I guess, give things a bit of background. So I sold my PS1. Oh, sorry, I didn't sell it. I gave it away. I gave it away to some friends who wanted to use it for all of the dance mats and stuff. Blimey, probably like 15 years ago or something, maybe more, maybe like 20 years ago, I guess. And I gave them all of my games. I had like some really nice games. I had a collector's edition for Metal Gear Solid that came in a big silver box. And you got a t-shirt, a soundtrack, you got some other cool stuff with it, and it was the proper version of Metal Gear Solid that came with the Silent Hill demo disc, all that sort of stuff. I've since looked at trying to get one back, and they go for like 200-300 quid, and that's in like bad condition, you know. So yeah, I just got rid of everything, unfortunately. I just didn't keep hold of it stupidly. You give stuff away, I guess, as you're growing up in your 20s, and you're buying houses and then moving again and all that sort of stuff as you do. So anyway, I even sold my PlayStation, but I do have this one. This is my brother's PlayStation that was in my mum's loft, and it needed up a really good scrub. And a really good scrub to get it all clean and whatnot, and yeah, stickers over it and all sorts. But I'm very pleased how it turned out. I've only had this a couple of years, and it's probably only been the last couple of years that I've really seriously got back into collecting. Obviously, I'm focusing a lot on my Master System stuff. To be honest, and it might be controversial, a lot of the PlayStation stuff hasn't aged fantastically. Some has aged really well, but a lot hasn't. So yeah, hence why I've focused a lot more on my 8 and 16-bit stuff, really. Anyway, let's crack on. Just to start with, I am going to read out some of the ones I've left out to cut the list just into 10. First of all, Die Hard trilogy. What an absolute amazing game this was. I can't believe it's not made the list, but it hasn't. Tough calls have had to be made. Also, and I won't spoil it, but there is a driving game in there, which is by far my favourite. But I've had to leave out these two absolute belters. Colin McRae in particular. I mean, V-Rally was brilliant because you could design all your own courses and stuff. But Colin McRae was just absolutely fantastic. I'm still not sure I've made the right decision leaving it out, but we'll see how we go. We shall see. Right, the only other ones I think I left out were, like, I played quite a lot of fishing games on the PlayStation, like Fisherman's Bait and Action Bass. I know fishing's a bit of a niche genre, I guess, for a lot of people, but I've fished all my life. And I've played fishing games for most of it as well. So, no fishing games have made the top 10, unfortunately. Command and Conquer, GTA 1, Loaded, Jonah Lomu Rugby. What an amazing game that is. Not made the top 10. Driver, Abe's Odyssey, Overboard, with the little ships when you have to shoot each other. That's not in there. Final Fantasy VIII. It's the only Final Fantasy I've ever played, but that's not in there. I really enjoyed it, but it's not in the top 10. And Medieval, absolutely amazing game. Not that I'm a huge first-person shooter, but the first ever proper first-person shooter I played was like the first Medal of Honor on the PS1, which I loved because it had a scene out of the beginning of Saving Private Ryan. You know, that's not on there. Anyway, I'm just stalling, I'm just delaying now, so let's kind of get this over with and see how we do. So first on the list, I don't own a copy anymore, unfortunately, but first on the list is Hogs of War. Absolutely phenomenal game, and I used to play this with the multi-tap with my friends. I'm pretty sure I remember it being a 4-player, and you could walk around the map, similar to Worms, but in 3D. And you could shoot each other or blow each other up or do whatever. Absolutely hilarious. And coupled with some very funny voice acting as well. I'm sure Rick Mail did some of the voiceovers. I might be wrong, I'm sure he did. And it was just hilarious fun to chuck on after you'd had a skinful down the pub, to be fair. So yeah, Hogs of War, brilliant. Number 9, I think I've still got a copy for number 9, yes, Tomb Raider. So Tomb Raider's my number 9. Just really, I hadn't seen anything like it. It was one of the early ones on the PS1, one of the first that I saw, and when I bought mine, and one of the first I bought as well. I have played a bit of the second one, not a lot. I know a lot of people that are in the know, perhaps more than I am, they would probably rate Tomb Raider 2 higher. For me, the nostalgia is with the first one. This is the one I kind of played a lot, and I did play it a lot too, and I really enjoyed it. It was kind of the first proper 3D action game that I kind of fell in love with, really. It was just an amazing game, and I played it over and over. Really good game. So for number 8, I'm going to cheat a little bit, and there's going to be 2. So I don't think, so I've got Tekken 2 here, but only because I picked it up in a charity shop, and a lot of people will probably tell you number 2, and to a point I think number 3 are probably, the height of the game. For me, it's actually the first one. So Tekken 1, but I'm also, like I said, I'm going to cheat, and at number 8 will be Tekken and Mortal Kombat Trilogy. I'm a massive Mortal Kombat fan, and it was Mortal Kombat on the PS1 that kind of got me hooked. I played it quite a bit in the arcade as well, as a kid, a little bit younger. But yeah, Mortal Kombat and Tekken 1, joint number 8. Just check the list. So yeah. So the next one is Gran Turismo. Again, it's one of those. To be fair, I could probably include number 2, and that would probably get in the top 10 as well. But I'm probably going to only have one game per franchise that make the list. And Gran Turismo, if I said Gran Turismo 1 and 2, again, I know it's probably another bit of a cheat, isn't it, really? But it was a great game, and it was, in my opinion, it was only topped by, when it came out on PS2 on the Emotion engine. I know it was like one of the flagship games that they teased the PS2 off with all the sort of rays of light coming through the trees and stuff. So yeah, and that really was, PS2 for another video perhaps. But yeah, Gran Turismo 1 and 2 for the next one. So, six. So again, I'm fortunate, I did pick a copy up not that long ago. In 6th place is Tenchu Stealth Assassins. I'm not a huge stealth game player, and even back in the day I wasn't massively great, at stealth type games. But this was so good, and even the storyline wanted you to keep playing and keep finding out what the next mission would be. So yeah, Played quite a bit of Tenchu. I used to like trying to get the dogs and stuff in it as well, because the enemy variation was quite good. So yeah, Tenchu at number 6. Okay, so yeah, number 5. I definitely don't own a copy anymore, unfortunately. But at number 5 is Soul Reaver. I know a couple of people have got the Legacy of Kain game in there, which, to be fair, my younger brother played a ton. And I only really got into I'd seen him playing them. I was maybe a bit older. I think I was away at university, I think, at the time. And we'll get on to the games I was playing at that time in just a moment. But he was playing the Legacy of Kain, the first couple of games, I think. And I just... Soul Reaver really blew my mind with the whole, you know, and you could go into the underworld on the switch of a button almost, and I just really enjoyed that dynamic and having to run around collecting, you know, these souls to level up and stuff like that. It's not dissimilar to a lot of the FromSoft stuff that we see today, you know. So yeah, really great game. 4th, yes. I don't think I have a copy. I may do, but I can't find it at the moment. It could be in the loft. So yeah, did I say 4 or 5? 4. So yeah, at 4 is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, although I'd probably just cover the whole series on PS1, because the first one was brilliant and the third one was brilliant, although I did play the third one probably an awful lot more on the PS2, to be honest. PS2. But yeah, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, you could just do so much with it. You could upgrade your character, you could buy him different looks and t-shirts and all that sort of stuff. We were probably like 19, 20 when we were playing it, and we'd all sort of got jobs for the first time. Get jobs, you're still living at home, you've got plenty of money. What do? You play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and then you go out and buy a skateboard and think you're going to be a pro skater yourself. Fortunately, I didn't do that, but a lot of my mates did, and they they went out, bought skateboards. Terrible. I think a couple even broke a few bones trying to show off, you know. Stupid, really, I know, but yeah, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, it was kind of my game. Absolutely loved that game, and again, when it came out on the PS2, the third game, I probably played that, blimey, an absolute ton. Yeah, so Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, top game. Third, I do luckily have a copy. It set me back a few quid recently too. Third would be Silent Hill. Silent Hill's an absolutely amazing game by Hideo Kojima. I know Hideo Kojima is kind of not for everybody. It's kind of an acquired taste. And when I played this game, I kind of got into it straight away and played it loads and loads and loads. It took me quite a few attempts to complete. I did get there in the end. I think I've only finished it the once, but just an amazing game. Really good storyline, quite creative monsters. The camera angles that he used were quite clever. I think Resident Evil kind of did a lot the same, to be honest, and they probably did it first, to be fair, as well. But yeah, it's quite expensive these days. I'm glad I picked it up for the price that I picked it up at, I think last year, because it's only going up, and it's a fairly decent, well, pretty much mint copy that I own, which surprisingly I got from CEX of all places. It was a bit of a roulette or lottery, but they posted one out, and I got a decent copy, thankfully. So yeah, top game. I'm pretty sure I remember what second is. So second is Resident Evil 2, and I could have gone with the first one, Perhaps could have gone with the third one as well, to be honest. All three on the PS1 are absolutely stellar games, but I'm only going to pick one game from each franchise. And personally, for me, the second game was just I don't know. I think the first game was very, very good, and I've probably played the first game more in more recent years, just through emulation and stuff. Um, I never actually completed the first game. It was only when I was in lockdown last year, I think, that I completed Resident Evil Director's Cut in the training mode, and I was a bit gutted actually because you don't get to fight the tyrant at the end. It cuts straight to the helicopter bit, at the end of the game. And then when they brought when they brought the second one out, this is actually the first game that I bought with my PS1, and I took it back with me to university for my second year or something, having played a lot of the first one on other people's consoles or watching them play. So having Resident Evil 2 as a student when no one else really had any money, no one else had really seen it, I was kind of the envy of all of my mates. We just played it loads. Some of the scenes where with the lickers, with the jump scare when they come through I think is it the roof window, or the skylight, should I say? Sorry. Just fantastic, really good storyline. And you could, I always used to play it through as Leon, but just a brilliant story, and a great game. And then for pick number one, I know it will be a lot of people's number one, and that's Metal Gear Solid. I don't own a copy anymore. When I did own it, I actually bought the big silver, I think it was called the limited pack or limited package, something like that. It was a big silver box that you got, and it had a t-shirt in it. It had the soundtrack, had these really cool dog tags, and it had everything. And I don't know for the life of me whatever happened to it. I have looked to try and buy it again. It's several £100 to get a decent one. You can get one with the boxes all beat up and stuff missing out of it for about 100, and that's probably the reason I've not bought it again, to be honest, because I really would like to get that collection pack version that I had at some point again. It's only going up in price, so I probably better not delay too much. But oh my god, Metal Gear Solid, it was just an amazing game, and for the time it just absolutely blew my mind. Having to unplug from the player one control port, actually get up and unplug it and put it into the second socket so that you could beat a boss so he couldn't read what you were going to do, just blew my mind. And no one told me what to do. There was no internet in 1998. It was just you just had to keep trying over and over and over, and eventually, after listening to I think it was Psycho Mantis sort of teasing me almost, and egging me on to try different things, I eventually gave it a go, and I beat him first try after that, after I knew how. I just like the secret code on the back of the box, all the stuff. It was just brilliant. I remember just hearing about it before I even really knew what it was. The guy in the video game shop, I grew up in a very small town. We did have one indie game shop. Luckily, it's not there anymore. But I remember him telling me about this game that's coming out, and you'll be able to plant bombs on the wall, but you've got to tap on the wall to find a weak point, and just thinking that it sounded absolutely amazing, and it was. It was such a good game. It is such a good game now, and I really hope that if we get a remake, which I know that it has been rumoured, that they do it justice. Anyway, guys, what do you think? What are your top 10 PS1 games? I'd love to hear. Either tag me in with a video response of your own, or drop me a list in the comments below, and I will take a look. Give this video the thumbs up if you enjoyed. Please consider subscribing, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.